here in Garland, Texas, January 20th, 2012, and what a year it's going to be. I had some very interesting dreams last night about the future, about a number of things going on, and I understand there's a lot of other people having dreams, visions, premonitions. Some of them aren't necessarily taking place in the dream state, some of them are like a waking knowing. And most of the time that's where I get a lot of my information from, on the intuitive level. It's like a waking knowing that we're living in a strange reality, but oftentimes that knowing gets reinforced by not only dreams that we're having, but the dreams that we're hearing about others having. And when I look at the future, 2012, I don't see a end of the world scenario coming to the earth. But I feel with every cell in my body that the world as we know it is about to go through a massive transformation. One of the things that I want to start out talking about is the importance of having empathy and compassion for all living creatures on earth. And I have witnessed firsthand the lack of compassion for the victims of war, coming from a lot of different people that are currently going through a lot of emotional expressions of anger, rage, fear, doubt, and worry. And I think it's important to understand, or be willing to believe, that we may be on Earth in these biological computer operating systems to learn particular lessons to evolve to something higher. I've always felt this, and I'm seeing more confirmation of this as the United States, where most of you are watching this video, most of you are in the United States. There has been a lot of bad karma that this country and other countries have created in the third world, in Mexico, in Africa, in Afghanistan, and Iraq. And I want to bring up the Occupy movement, and first I want to start with the positive. There was something very beautiful about people coming together to change the world as we know it to something more positive, to something better, to a world where we want to raise our children and bring our children into this world without fear of what's going to happen to them. That's why we're doing a lot of what we're doing. We want to make this world a safe place to live. I'm in nature right now. I'm at a park. I feel a very close affinity, a strong love for nature, for trees, for the rivers, the oceans, the birds, the bees, the humans, which in fact are a part of nature, and we are directly connected to the sun. This has nothing to do with sun worship. We are part of this collective vibrating force of life. And it's beautiful to see the Occupy movement grow and grow and many people get involved. The dark side of the Occupy movement. And we're not going to talk about, necessarily people that hate Ron Paul and people that have their own specific agendas, but what I am going to talk about is my experiences communicating with people on Occupy Portland's Facebook page and the level of rage and anger that does exist towards people that have a different understanding of what's going on. There's a lot of people that just got involved in wanting to take to the streets and do something and make some noise, and it's expressing itself, this organic. It's almost as if it's coming from nature itself or the universe through the human biological computer, yet there's spirits that are inhabiting these bodies. That's expressing itself in many, many diverse forms. But if we are to move into a safer, more beautiful, more compassionate, more loving world, we must, and you can call this fundamentalist, you can call this fascist, you can use whatever word you would like to use, we must show some compassion for the victims of war. We must be able to have healthy dialogue with others about the issues that affect us all. And when we respond to other people with anger and call them names because they oppose the genocide taking place in the Middle East, a lot of this is going on, we're not really taking care of ourselves. We're not really preparing our country for the future that is awaiting us. And so this is a very important lesson that we're all going to have to learn how to live with one another. Because going back to where this video started, dreams, premonitions, people having these visions, there appears to be an awakening taking place that's far larger than the Occupy movement, far larger than talking about 9/11, far larger than calling for the end of the Federal Reserve. There is, and it's always been here, this evil upon the earth that has tested humans and has sought to dominate the life of man. It's very much like Lord of the Rings. It's very much like looking at the eye of Sauron, looking at us, and we're becoming more aware of this evil on the earth. There are a lot of people that are having this light flip on above their head that in our lifetimes we could see some tremendous changes on this planet coming from the sun that could cause severe disruptions to our electric grid on the earth. There's also other theories about sunspot cycles, solar maximum, and ties to cycles of war, revolution, even consciousness, a new renaissance, a new spiritual renaissance, where there's new ideas introduced into the organic collective consensus reality. And if we are to move into that loving, compassionate space where we live in peace, we must learn to have a little bit of mutual respect for other people that have other opinions. And we must have compassion for people from other lands, other languages, other places on the planet. And there is far too much anger that some people still hold in their hearts towards people of color, or even some people that don't like white people. And I think white people are the sole cause of the problems on the earth. And I see all of these things as fallacies that we must consciously evolve beyond. Otherwise, we're going to stay exactly where we are, a world at war with itself. And that's exactly what this is. It's mankind at war with its own psyche. If we see the grid go down in the next several years, and the internet go down, the current way that we're connected on Facebook will be a thing of the past. It will only exist in our memories. The only thing that will be real is the connections that I have with you, that you have with the person next to you, that are actually physically in the flesh. And that's the most important thing, that we could try to affect Washington, D.C. and all of these things, and rightfully so, we should. But in the end, it's going to come back down to how are we living right here, all around us. So the revolution will be televised, but it may not be televised forever. The revolution is a revolution in consciousness. In reality, we're not really revolving, because revolution is to evolve. We're supposed to be evolving to something higher than what our current biology is currently expressing itself to be. Now, we are connected, and there is this awakening taking place with people having these dreams about a potential invasion of the United States, solar activity disrupting electric grids all over the planet, which could disrupt oil getting from point A to point B, thus affecting our food supply. And so in this awakening, it's very important to be not only respectful of others with different opinions, and we must be compassionate for the victims of war, but we must be grateful for the things that we have right now. For the beautiful people that are around us, that have information, that have seen different things, that their ancestry, their bloodlines. This is where I'm going with the conversation now. Ethnic bloodlines. There are many of us on this planet now that are from the ancient world. And we are here now in 2012 with this information that we are trying to impart to the people of Earth right now. Some of us feel like we lived before and we were someone else in another place. Some of us feel like we are from the future in almost a Terminator sense, without the violence, that have come back in time to warn humankind that we must change direction. And it is possible for us to change direction and create a better world, but we must alter our thoughts and thus change our actions in order to get to that place. It's like Newton's law. It's like playing marbles. If a ball is going, some of you may remember this from physics class in high school, if a ball is going down the court, it's going to maintain the same direction unless there are obstacles in its path that change its direction. Right now in the United States, going back to Occupy and the level of anger some people hold towards people that support Ron Paul, and by the way, to me the Ron Paul revolution is not about electing Ron Paul necessarily. That's what it means for some people. To me, it's about people that come together on the issues that affect us all. Most of all, economic responsibility, a moral economic structure. But heavier than that, ending the wars, ending the genocide.